Interesting. What's up, YouTube? Interesting music question. Did I ever get the popularity of Garth Brooks? I think I've talked about it before. And unbeknownst to me, now he has 16 total albums out since he came out in '89. And I remember he was putting out a lot of records in the '90s. He was the best selling artist. Everybody talks about other genres. Well, country music's always been popular. That's no questions asked. But it was his style, which was more on the popular side, where of course the Dixie Chicks and Shania Twain, and he came right after Randy Travis was kind of big, right before Vince Gill took off, who I happen to like. I like Vince Gill a lot. Dwight Yoakam. There were some acts that were there. Marty Stewart. There were some country acts, and now of course country music has always stays. You can different artists have been popular, but he was big in an era where his dominance was unlike any other for a country male artist. I mean, even bigger than the Kenny Rogers situation, because the Garth Brooks situation was like he was like country's answer to Michael Jackson, if you will. I mean, he had an incredible reach, you know. Even though I like a handful of his songs, I never quite got the allure of the popularity. It was catchy, but I never quite got that whole, you know, the all shucks, and this guy was like being huge. So it's kind of one of those things that you want to ask someone to kind of explain it to you to make it make sense, because you know Garth Brooks' popularity, which I probably have done a video, but I'd do it again because in recent times I think that he has been performing, but his records, it's not the way it was when the records would come out and he had the Walmart deals. Remember, he was against used stores selling his product, and he was selling records but like hotcakes. I mean, this thing took off, but yet it didn't seem like that kind of phenomenon. Like when usually someone is big, it feels like everybody's in on it, or you see a wave of it. There were people who were in on it, who dug him, but I didn't get this totality. Like he was this act that I guess from the mainstream, like people were like, oh, the way he was dominant. So that's where I'm coming from with that. But when you look back in hindsight, the last 35 plus years, the guy, and I guess I asked the question, is he Rock and Roll Hall of Fame worthy? That's the big question. Or was it the songs? Because you got to kind of wonder about a guy who had the kind of career he had, that doesn't that loan itself to all those other accolades and rewards? And don't tell me because he's country and he's not that. The guy was dominating the charts big time. He come out with a record. It was number one. He was huge. He was huge. As a matter of fact, if Beyonce really wanted to connect, she should have tried to do a duet with this cat. I know if this was about 25 years ago and she was trying to come up with said project, I know she would have had to have done a record with him. Way before you work with Post Malone, you would have to get with Garth Brooks, because that dude had a spell on people's pockets. I mean, they really went all out for him. So the question was asked, is he Hall of Fame worthy? The popularity does all of it. I thought a nice middle of the road, nice corporate spent cat with a big 10-gallon hat on his head was catchy. But I didn't really feel that it was, because I think I done a video where I said I thought Kenny Rogers was better, and I did. I respect Garth, and he's very modernized with his, political stances, things that he do. But musically, I didn't think of it like this. This is like, it's such a way that you can't even put it into words. But a dominant persona and a dominant success story. But is it Hall of Fame worthy? That's the question I asked the people below. And if you remember his popularity, because you kind of couldn't avoid him if you were keeping up with the charts totality and you weren't limited and your scope wasn't. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share the video if you like, and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. I'm all the time. Peace.